Hello everyone and welcome back to Cinderella. Obviously it has been a very long time since I have done any kind of sit down video. Since I have now wrapped up my Very Merry Christmas vlogs, I just wanted to kind of have a conversation with you guys about my thoughts, about my whole trip, about what I did, where I ate, and just kind of share those with you guys. If my voice sounds a little funny, it is because I am getting over being very, very sick. This video I will be breaking down into 3 different categories. I will be talking about my hotel, I will be talking about the party itself and my experience there, and then I will be talking about the food I ate and where I ate it. So let's dive in. First, I would like to talk about my stay at the Pop Century. Now, I have stayed at the Pop Century before. This is a resort that I go back to time and time again. It is actually one of my favorites. It's very nostalgic for me. It has a very special place in my heart. It's definitely by far my favorite value resort, and it was fantastic to see it at Christmas because it had all the magic that I know and love about it, but it just added a little bit extra sparkle. It was a perfect little stay. I spent just enough time there. I wish I would have had time to do a room tour and a resort tour. That would be my one comment about my stay there, but that's really on me. That's nothing that they did. It was perfect for the little one-night getaway just to stay there. I absolutely love the Pop Century. I have nothing but great things to say about it. Moving on to part 2, which is the actual experience of the Christmas party. If you watch my vlog series, I'm sure you will have known by now that I had, prior to this party, never done any kind of special ticketed event at Disney World. So I'd never done the Christmas party before. I had never done the Halloween party before. Nothing where I had to pay an extra ticket for it. So going into this trip, I knew it was going to be something that was really special because it's something that I had been wanting to do for a very long time and had never gotten the opportunity to. So I knew going into it that I was going to have a fantastic time. And I did. The parade was adorable. The fireworks were amazing. The food, the atmosphere, just everything about it. Everyone was so excited and genuinely enjoying being there. My one comment that I did have that I was really kicking myself for not doing my research because I felt, not that I didn't enjoy the party, but I felt almost as if I didn't enjoy it to its full potential. Like the amount of fun that I had could have been more fun if I had done my research. I did do the treat stops. There's several treat stops throughout Magic Kingdom. I tried the hot chocolate at Pinocchio Village House, and I also had some of the sparkling cider, which was, I believe it was over at the Friar's Nook. And I did try some of the cookies. But other than that, I didn't really explore the treat stops because I didn't really know where they were. I don't even think I picked up a map. I didn't even do enough research to know that there were designated merchandise stops. So I thought that there was just no merchandise for the Christmas party, but really I just didn't know where it was. For things like that, I would have really benefited from doing some research and knowing what was there so that I could enjoy it. As you guys know, this was an incredibly last minute trip. I decided to go the day before I went. So there's only so much research that I could have done in 10 hours. It's just one of those things where you live and you learn. I actually was seriously considering going back to the Christmas party just to experience all the things that I missed by not researching. I had a small window in my schedule just before Christmas, before I flew home to New York, but I decided against it. I just figured it's gonna be next year. I might as well just hold out. You know, there's always next year. I can really take my time, do my research. So next year, you guys are gonna see some great Christmas vlogs because I will have done my research and I will be informed. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys about the Christmas party, as you guys will have seen, I had that cute little outfit on. I had a sweater and little red shorts and little boots, and I looked adorable. But what I did not account for was the sun going down and it getting cold. Yes, it is Florida, but I went in November, and while it was warm when the sun was kind of up, once the sun went down, it started to get pretty cold. It wasn't freezing, but I definitely regret wearing those little tiny shorts, or I wish that I had brought a thicker sweater to put on top, something that I could have put in my backpack or tied around my waist. It wasn't that much of an inconvenience, but when you're walking around towards the end of the night, like you guys will have seen, I was walking around riding rides, it started to really get to me. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to go back to the hotel now. Which irritated me a little bit, just because if I had thought it through and maybe checked the forecast, then I would have been able to maybe squeeze a few rides in. So again, another thing to take into account, and another lesson learned. The next category I would like to speak with you guys about is my food experience. This is one of my personal favorite categories. I absolutely love exploring the food that Disney World has to offer. They have some fantastic restaurants. I've had some of the best meals of my life on property. So food is very important to me. I would like to make one comment regarding food and the Christmas party. In my not planning ahead, I did not realize that a lot of the restaurants were going to be closed. I was under the impression that it was going to be Magic Kingdom operating business as usual with Christmas events. But a lot of the restaurants were closed. In fact, I felt like most of the restaurants were closed. I finally found that Cosmic Rays was open, as you guys saw, and I was able to get a burger to stop myself from dying of hunger. So that's one thing. When you were going to the Christmas party, make sure you plan what you're doing for dinner, because you can go and you can eat somewhere at 5 o'clock before the Magic Kingdom shuts down. You can go somewhere else. You can eat before you get to the Magic Kingdom, but just make sure that you have a plan, because I showed up thinking I'll just grab something. I'm not even that hungry. But by the end of the night, I hadn't really had any food, and I was really, really hungry, and Cosmic Rays saved my butt because I was starving. And that's the kind of thing when you're walking around the Magic Kingdom. You can't be starving and tired. You need fuel, you need food. So definitely plan ahead what you're doing food-wise if you are going to the Christmas party. Next, I would like to talk about Chef Mickey's. I had never eaten at Chef Mickey's prior to this trip. This was my first experience, and it was fantastic. I felt that the character interaction itself was very good. I had a really great time with all the characters. You guys saw it was just a very short "wait ma'am, thank you ma'am" character interaction. I didn't want to keep them too long because they had a lot of tables to go to, but all of the characters were very lively, as they always are at Disney World. They were super welcoming. It was a really fun experience. I thought it was going to be a little bit awkward doing it by myself, but I really didn't mind it. I could film everything I wanted to film. I could eat my food in peace. I actually would highly recommend going to do a character meet by yourself. If you have a camera and a camera stand, that's all you gotta do. I just positioned it and hit record every time a character walked over. It wasn't too bad. So that aspect of the experience was definitely a pleasant surprise. I thought it was gonna be a little bit awkward doing it by myself, but I kind of liked the independence of it. It added a new angle to the experience. And the food at Chef Mickey's, I really liked. I don't know if it was this particular day that I went or if it's consistently like this, but I felt like they had a really good spread. What I liked about it is I felt like they had a really wide variety of kinds of food that they had. They had all different cultured foods, and they had a lot of classic American stuff, a lot of the classic breakfast food you get over here. I got biscuits and gravy, which I'm a Southern girl now, so that's one of my personal favorites. And they were very good. All of the food that I ate was very tasty. I like that they had a really diverse spread of both sweet and savory foods, because breakfast is one of those things where it really, you lean either way, but I like that they had a good diversity of both kinds. If you were in the mood for something sweet, you had your options there, and if you were in the mood for something savory, you had your options there. Overall, it was a really great experience. The food and the characters were just fantastic. I would highly recommend going there, even just once, or even just by yourself. It was a really great time. Next restaurant I want to talk about is Kona. Kona, I am a little bit conflicted about, I will not lie to you guys. When I had made the reservation for Kona, I was very, very excited about it. I heard the sushi was incredible. I heard all of the food was incredible. I had heard nothing but good things. I had never even been into the Polynesian before this trip, as you guys will have seen. So I was very much looking forward to not only being in the Polynesian for that experience, but eating at Kona, which I had heard so many good things about. At Kona, I got the California roll. It was very small, and I felt like it was a little bit overpriced. The food itself was good. The California roll, it tasted good. The service was excellent. However, I just felt a little bit underwhelmed for the price. It wasn't bad, it was tasty, I enjoyed it, but it was these little teeny tiny pieces, 6 or 8 little teeny tiny pieces for $14. If I'm gonna pay $14 for a California roll, that better be the best California roll I've ever eaten. You know what I mean? That California roll better have caviar on top, and it better be smothered in deliciousness. And it was just kind of jumbo lump crab and cucumber. Like I said before, it was tasty. Don't get me wrong, it was a very tasty California roll, but it wasn't the most amazing California roll I had ever had. And again, for $14, I just felt underwhelmed. I felt wanting more. Now, having said that, I don't want to pass a final judgment on Kona just yet. I'd like to try there for lunch again, and I would like to try a dinner service there. I just want to experience the restaurant in its entirety before I go ahead and fully say it's overpriced, the food's only okay. So that's about where I'm standing with Kona. I'm not going to pass a final judgment because I feel like I just experienced one piece of the puzzle, and I think that there's many different items on the menu that make this a unique place to eat, and I would like to try some of those. So the jury's still out on my opinion about Kona. So that's about it. Those are my thoughts on my trip to Disney World during the Christmas party. I never ever foresaw myself doing this kind of trip completely by myself, exploring, just driving down to Florida without any companions, but it was a really empowering experience for me. I never thought I could do something like that before, and it was very reassuring in my confidence to do a trip like this, to do something like this, to kind of say to myself, yes, you can do that. I wouldn't trade this trip experience for anything in the world, but it was a trip to remember, and it was also a trip of firsts. I did a lot of things for the first time that I had never done at Walt Disney World before. I went on the Haunted Mansion. I went to the Polynesian for the first time. I ate at Chef Mickey's for the first time. And it was my first ticketed event ever. It was a big trip for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching my vlogs as much as I enjoyed being there and making them for you. Let me know if you guys have ever been to the Christmas party or eaten at these places before, and please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel to see all of the other vlog footage that I have for you guys. I took another trip after this trip to Epcot, and I stayed at the Caribbean Beach. I did a whole room tour and Epcot vlog for you guys. So stay tuned because those are coming up. You can follow my day-to-day adventures on Instagram and Twitter, which is @CintyRelly. And be sure to follow my blog, which is cintyrelly.wordpress.com. I will leave all of those in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, share your thoughts with me, and have a magical day. Bye.